everybody. This is the first of 3 mini lectures on cranial nerves and their functions. We're going to cover in this one the names of the cranial nerves. In the second video, we're going to do functions of the cranial nerves and mnemonics, and then conditions and disorders. Okay. So names of the cranial nerves is where we're sort of starting. So what are cranial nerves? The cranial nerves are a set of 12 paired nerves in the back of your brain. Cranial nerves send electrical signals between your brain, face, neck, and torso. Your cranial nerves help you taste, smell, hear, and feel sensations. They also help you make facial expressions, blink your eyes, and move your tongue. Just so you know where I got this information, we should always cite our sources. This is from the Cleveland Clinic website, and when you make your own copy or access these, you can actually click on this link and go to where I got all this information. Okay. So the cranial nerves begin toward the back of your brain, and they are a key part of your nervous system. And by the back of your brain, we typically mean like the inside of the cerebrum. So how many cranial nerves are there? Well, you have 12 cranial nerve pairs. Each nerve pair splits to serve the 2 sides of your brain and body. For example, you have 1 pair of olfactory nerves. 1 olfactory nerve is on the left side of your brain, and 1 is on the right side of your brain. So here's my picture, and I have a copy of this for you to download. So here they are, and we've got the olfactory, the optic, oculomotor, trigeminal, trochlear, abducens, facial, vestibulocochlear, glossopharyngeal, hypoglossal, the vagus nerve, and the accessory nerve. Okay, now what's important to note here is this is where they're sort of located, and this is the graphic that I was able to find. But the 12 cranial nerves each have a specific function, and experts categorize the cranial nerves based on number and function. So what's important to note is that the cranial nerves are numbered 1 to 12, and we keep them in that same order. So this graphic is not really in that order. The graphic is in an order in terms of the top of the bottom of your brain all the way to the back of your brain. So here's the front of your brain, and this is the back of your brain where there's your cerebellum. Okay, but that's not typically how we label them. So it's important to go 1 through 12, and we keep them in that same order. So what are the cranial nerves? And this is the order that they come in, and physicians will refer to them as 1 through 12. So cranial nerve 1 is the olfactory nerve, and it's involved in our sense of smell. The optic nerve is involved in our ability to see. The oculomotor nerve is the ability to move and blink your eyes. The trochlear nerve is the ability to move your eyes up and down and back and forth. Trigeminal nerve, sensations in your face and cheeks, taste, and jaw movement. So this is quite important. The abducens nerve is the ability to move your eyes. Facial nerve is facial expressions and sense of taste. So this is sort of interesting because it's both facial expressions and your sense of taste, and those would seem different, but it's still the facial nerve. Auditory vestibular nerve, sense of hearing and balance. Glossopharyngeal nerve, ability to taste and swallow. The vagus nerve, not Vegas like Las Vegas, but vagus nerve, VAGUS, digestion and heart rate. Accessory nerve or spinal accessory nerve, depends on who's doing it, but we're going to call it the accessory nerve for our mnemonics. It helps. Shoulder and neck muscle movement. I learned it as the spinal accessory nerve, and you'll know why when we get to the mnemonics. And then the hypoglossal nerve, ability to move your tongue. All right, so those are the 12 cranial nerves, both in order and where they're located in the brain.